Hey guys, welcome to Heart to Talk, the podcast. I am your host, Teresa Caesar, and you are listening to episode 30. The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. Oprah Winfrey. Who's ready to embark on the biggest adventure of their life? Who's ready to claim their dreams? Do you know where to start? Well, in this episode, you'll be given tips and be reminded that you can do and become anything at any time. It is never too late. It's never too early. The power is in deciding and deciding now, today. I believe that dreams are aspirations that come from the soul. When you dare to dream, you begin to learn how powerful and mystical you truly are. It's time to acknowledge, trust, and live by your spirit. There are no limitations to your dreams. Your dreams are your possibilities. And friends, I have the perfect guest here to tell you how you can step into your dreams today and manifest on purpose. Today's guest, Sonia Ovenden, is a life mastery consultant, a whole healing practitioner, and a DreamBuilder coach who helps people design and manifest a life they truly love living. She is CEO and founder of Discover the Beauty of You, and has been featured in Forbes and appeared on UK radio. She has written her debut novel and is a contributing author of the international best-selling book, She Did It, and So Can You. Sonia inspires and empowers people to dare to dream. Her overarching mission is discover the beauty of you, to unlock your true potential, achieve outrageous success, and live a life that you love living. Friends, it's time to ignite and claim your dreams. I bring to you my conversation with the DreamBuilder coach that knows how to manifest on purpose.
I'm originally from the UK, as the accent may give it away, but I've spent the last 16 years over in the Middle East. So I now live in the desert and it's hot right now, but it's all good. So a little bit about me. 25 years in the corporate world and was in HR training and development, traveling the world, which I was very grateful for and very blessed. But over time, I started to realise that there was something missing. I'd get home, our weekends are Friday, Saturday, so I'd get home on a Thursday night and I'd literally just want to curl up and sleep all night. So I just had that level of burnout and I just realised that something had to change. And I had a health scare which nudged me towards the change. As I think for many of us, we have to hit something for us to take that change. But it was just after Christmas, I'd gone back into the office and I had a little desk calendar and I was ticking off the days because we were going on holiday on the 27th of January. So I was working out how many sleeps I've got left. And I realised that I was wishing my life away. And at that point, it was wishing it away till the next nice thing. And I realised that I wasn't enjoying the journey anymore. And I have to say, when I realised that I was looking down and literally ticking off the dates and just, I guess, crossing off the days that I'd lived, I realised that I was just hitting my daily repeat button. I'd started on a journey of self-discovery when I had the health scares, and I realised that I wanted to help others actually discover more about themselves and to embrace their inner beauty, which is where I founded the company Discover the Beauty of You. That was why I called it that way, because we have so much within us that sometimes our rules, our programming, society, culture, all the rules that are expected from the family, don't do this, do this. I actually took the leap and I left the corporate world. I'd always had a dream to write a book. That's always been a thing for me. I'm now in the editing stages, which is great. And it is a chick flick rom-com novel. I'm going to throw that out there because those are what have given me a lot of joy over the years, sitting on a beach with my chick flick books. And so that's what I've written. And then I also have started to grow my coaching business. And that has been an absolute joy and has took me on the path of following all the healing and the growth, which has been incredible. I actually wanted to know what was next, what was ahead. I wanted to feel like spring had sprung. I wanted to move forward. And And I knew that there was more to manifestation, and there's a lot of manifestation out there, which is great, but very rarely do we come across actual tangible steps that we can do to what I call manifest on purpose. And I actually found an organisation called the Brave Thinking Institute, where I now actually have become a certified life mastery consultant and dream builder coach. And I'm delighted to say that I embody all the steps, and actually sitting here in this minute, in this moment, I can hand on my heart say, I do live my dream life every single day. And that's what I do for everybody else. Now I show them, I help them, I guide them, and I train them in this process to manifest on purpose and accelerate their abundance. And the beauty of it, for example, one of my clients, one of her dream has been for years, has just landed her first TED Talk. And there's another lady who basically just wanted her divorce finalised. It was very toxic, but the lawyers had already said that it wouldn't happen till the end of the year. But basically by week 8 of the programme, the divorce was finalised, settlement was in, and she's actually bought her own custom-built award-winning home where both of her daughters have their own room each, which was also part of her dream. I've got somebody else who's building an international yoga retreat centre that's actually 2.4 million in value. She had no idea of the how. And this is the beauty of the dream building. We don't need to know about the how. Just for now, suspend the how. We need to all get clear of what it is that we would love our lives to be like. And that question is this probably the single biggest reason why most people self-sabotage. It's such a big question. And that's what I help people to do, to actually really uncover and discover what their perfect day, their dream life would look like each and every day.
That is so incredible. I know I am just grateful enough to be able to be mentored by you. Although I am the affirmation babe, I'm in this world, I have really learned to dream unapologetically because of you. It's one thing to manifest, but when you dream, go back to that 10-year-old self and don't be afraid to call into existence something that might be judged or that's crazy. Like there's nothing too big to dream about. And I love that you have reminded me of that. And that changes the excitement behind it.
Absolutely. And thanks so much for saying that, because the reality is, Teresa, we're all born to dream. Every single one of us is born, and from a very early age, we're playing dress up, or we're playing with our hairbrushes and jumping up and down on the bed like a pop star, or whatever dreams we have as a child. We are allowed to dream. We're encouraged to dream. But then somewhere, the dream muscle, we're told to turn it off. Get your head in the books, study, get your qualifications, get a job, get married, have kids, buy your house. It's almost like your whole life is mapped out. And for me, I guess one of the key things is that who says it has to be that way? Who says that I have to do every single thing? And when I look back in my life and see the times where amazing things have happened, it's actually when I have bucked the trend. I got on a plane, left the UK, first one in my family to ever do anything. I'm still the only person in my family to have ever emigrated. I didn't know anybody when the country I was moving to, one of one, was Kuwait. I knew nobody there. And then I thought, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? I hate it, and get a return flight and then find another job. To me, it's about reminding people that it's okay to dream. But more important than that, if you dream that that's what you would love your life to be like, that's the first step in allowing the universe to bring in, along with the affirmations, along with all the support, but to bring you things that you could never even have imagined. That's where we then connect to that infinite. That's where we expand the opportunities just by getting clear, that crystal clarity of what it is we'd love. But like I said, when we're young, we don't ever think of the how. We just play imagining and dreaming. The older we get, well, what's your plan? How are you going to do that? Whenever you tell anybody a dream, the first question, I guarantee it, get your listeners to try it, I guarantee it. The first question that will, when you say, I'm going to, take me, for example, one day I'm going to be living in the States. Well, how are you going to do that? It's impossible to get a green card in the States. How are you going to do that? I don't need to worry about the how. I just need to set that intention to get very clear of what I would love. But what happens is society has taught us, well, what's your plan? What's your backup plan in case that doesn't work? And again, another reason why self-sabotage kicks in. The minute we come up with a plan B, we're almost saying to the universe, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that enough. So I'm just going to have this. So then the universe is confused. Which is it we actually really want? And by definition, the universe won't bring us either, because we haven't got clear both in our hearts and ultimately then our actions. So to me, it's a combination of that beautiful clarity, but it's the biggest step for people. Because when we ask people, try it when you go out later, ask somebody, what's your dreams? And they almost pull back. They're almost like, because it's been so long since they've asked themselves the question. What would I love in life? What would I love my life to be? What do I want to be when I grow up? We stop asking the question. So I guess one of the things that I love about what I do is not only am I living my dream life, but I actually enable other people. There's a system there. It won't work my way and it won't work your way, Teresa, and it won't work your listeners' way, but it does work. And if we follow that process, the results are far greater than I ever imagined. It has just been one thing after another, after another, after another. It's just, and it's magical. So, for example, take my client that's landed her TED talk. She actually was trying to put the brakes there. I didn't want it to happen this quick. I didn't want it, and I'm like, whoa, just slow down. This is what you said that you would love. Well, yeah, but if I have a bit more time, why are you going into the how? And so straight away, when fear comes in, what happens? We go into the how. So I managed to elevate her, lift her out of the how and said, right, let's go back to your dream. Let's imagine you've just finished that TED talk. How do you feel? And it's that power of stepping into the dream, that power of putting on the dream, that power of imagining it's all worked out. Because whatever we're going through right now, it's just what's happening while it's all working out. The minute we crystallize on that dream, is the minute the universe starts working, or source, spirit, God, whatever word resonates for people, the minute we place that order, it's like going to a restaurant. Until we place that order, we're going to get anything. It's a little bit like the universe. Until we get clear of what order we're placing, the universe can't deliver. The minute we do, everything literally the universe loves the speed, absolutely loves the speed.
I just love how you remind us, step into your dream. And every day, what's like a tip someone could how they can step into their dream every day? Do you have a tip for our listeners?
Absolutely. So if for example, somebody has a dream car that they've always wanted, go and test drive it. There's no commitment. Step into the dream. And I do encourage your listeners to do that one, because I actually had a dream for about 7 years for a dream car. And then when I was in a position to buy it, I went and test drove it and I hated it. So please test drive, go and try the car on.
Test your dream.
Go and try the car in, sit in it, test drive it. There's no commitment there. Or for example, if some of your listeners are contemplating setting up their own business, start doodling what the logo might look like. Start doodling what title they want to give themselves. Would it be founder? Would it be CEO? Would it be just have a play around with things? There's nothing has to be concrete at this point. But the minute you start to sign your name and then you put CEO and founder, or would it be director, or would it be owner and founder? Whatever, just write it, see which one flows off the pen. Another real example, I was living in an apartment here and I came down on the beach one day for a walk and I thought, oh, those villas look nice. So I actually started to have a bit of a nose through the windows and I thought, oh, that'd be really nice. I actually went and asked if there was any available and had a viewing. So if somebody's got a dream house in mind, or if somebody wants to buy a plot of land but they wouldn't know what sort of decor they wanted, have a look online. Go and be nosy at properties that are for sale. There's no commitment. Try the dream on. If you've got a dream of buying a pair of Louboutins, I mean, for me, it's Jimmy Choo all the way. But if you've got...
Oh, yeah. Your closet is a dream closet. Literally, I love your closet.
But if you do, if part of your dream is to own a pair of Christian Louboutins, go and try them on. And strong recommendation, try them on, because I'm not a fan of them. They're too narrow for me. They kill. Whereas Jimmy Choos I find very comfortable. But try on a pair of shoes. If there's a dream watch you want, go into Rolex and try it on. Step into the dream. But then also the thing that we can do each and every day, when you've got clear of your dream, what would that person who has whatever it is that's living that life every day, how would they be thinking? How would they be feeling? It's stepping into those emotions. What can they see? What can they smell? What can they hear? For example, if somebody's thinking they've got their own outdoor pool, is it full of kids' noises, or is it actually a real solitude and you can hear the leaves rustling and you can just hear the pump on the pool going? Or what is it that actually you would love to be doing every day? And that's the key, is getting into it with as much sensory detail.
That is incredible advice. I can't wait to step into more of my dreams right after this episode. And there's another powerful phrase that you always discuss in your posts, and of course, because I get to be mentored by you in your DreamBuilder program, is the power of now.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about your beliefs and the power of now?
Yeah. So basically, I mentioned a few minutes ago that one of the things that happens when we're dreaming is that the fears can come up. But fear in itself is fear of something that's happened, or fear of something that's going to happen. If we actually think about it logically and rationally for a moment, fear in this second cannot exist. So it's almost up until anything that we've been afraid of before, up until now, is a beautiful phrase to stop the energy going in. But fear itself cannot exist in the now. So each time we want to jump back and be afraid of that, or each time we want to jump forward and be afraid that that may happen again, that the reality is, if we keep in the now, if we're present in the now, fear has no place, because we're only ever afraid of something that's happened that may repeat, or the future, the unknown. What's the point? We don't know what's going to happen. It's not saying that we won't have fear. We will have fear. And anybody who sits here and says you can get rid of your fear, well, I'm going to call it out. It's BS. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say on here, but it is absolute rubbish, because fear exists. That we're human beings. We're designed to have different feelings. But the reality is, with fear, in order for me to move forward, do I move forward with fear, or does fear have me? Because if we are in the now and I'm really challenged on which way do I go, if fear is there, I have to go forward despite the fear. And that's the courage to move through that fear. So if there's anything that's holding us back, really lean into, is it fear, or are we not dreaming brave enough, bold enough, sassy enough? Because if we're being pulled back, if there's something that we're thinking, what can I do in support of my dream today? What's one thing I can do? And we're feeling a bit like, there's a bit like there's just no real spark there. We go back to the dream, because the probability is we're just, if the dream isn't making us feel alive, if it isn't exciting us, if it isn't just making us want to jump out of bed in the morning, there's something missing, there's something not quite aligned. And I go into that obviously in much more detail in the program, but the reality is, if we are just hitting that repeat button again, if we're feeling like, oh yeah, the dream's all right, the probability is that it's a beautiful goal, especially if we do know all the steps to take. If we know all the steps to take, it's not a dream, because we're not allowing the infinite universe to come in. We're not allowing source, spirit, God, or universe. We're not allowing that infinite power to come in and support us, because it's a little bit like if we've got a goal to do. Let's say, for example, I wanted to lose 5 kilos and I want to lose it by X date. That means I've got to lose X per week. That means I've got to reduce my calorie intake by this. It means I've got to exercise so many times a week. Bang, done. I know the steps I've got to take. Whereas if it's a dream to reach my ideal weight and to live at my ideal weight, then that in itself is, I don't know how that's going to happen, because as we all know with exercise and weight, maintaining up until now can be a challenge, because maintaining weight for a lot of people is the boredom. That's where the boredom steps in, which what we've done is we've lost sight of the end dream, which has been to live at my ideal weight, not to lose weight.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, to look at it in that way. And I loved how you defined goals versus dreams.
Again, we live in a world and in a society, and even if we think about our children at school, and it's you've got to do this, you've got to get your exams, and you've got to then go on to your next year, and then you've got to choose your option subjects, or you've got all these goals and these steps, but we know what those steps are to get people through that year, to move into the next year, we know what the steps are. So it's a goal, it's a beautiful goal, but it's not anything bigger than a goal. The reality is, by focusing, a couple of phrases here, but if we focus on our longings, our desires, and then we pull in the power of that, so that's going to pull us to our dream. Our longings and desires, what we would love more of, is what's going to pull us. But we also have to pay attention to the discontent. What would we love less of in our life? So it's what would we love more of, and what would we love less of, combined together. One will pull us towards the dream, and if on occasions the pull gets less than, the other one will push us towards the dream. So it's the combined components of what we would love more of and what we would love less of to move forward. And that's probably something where I said earlier about self-sabotage. When we're not sure of what it is that we'd love, it is the quickest way to self-sabotage our dreams. So if any of the listeners are struggling to really work out what would I love more of, one of the great ways to start is we all know what we would love less of. We'd love less of being strapped for cash, or being in debt, or we'd love less rushing around. We'd love more time. But when we focus on what we would love less of, we can then easily flip that to what we'd love more of.
That's a great tip. I love that, because I think you're right. A lot of people don't know where to start because they haven't allowed themselves to.
One amazing one that I'd really, really like to share, and that's the power of approach goals rather than avoidance. So, for example, what a lot of people focus on is, I would love to lose weight. So by definition, what the universe has to give us is more weight to lose, because I'm focusing on losing weight.
Oh, fascinating.
Whereas if I set the dream, I would love to be living at my ideal weight. Wow. An approach goal rather than avoidance. So, for example, a lot of people would say, I'd love to be debt-free. But it's an avoidance goal. What we're avoiding there is debt. I'd love to live in financial abundance is the approach one.
Oh my gosh, Sonia, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Because the minute we put in what we don't want into the dream, the universe has to give us more of it for us to take it away.
Yeah. I need to go through my goals and write approach goals. I mean, that is seriously liquid gold. Okay, so here's the next question. For all of you all listening, if you find it's too hard on your own to make your dreams come true, you want to work with someone like Sonia. Like if you want to lose the weight, you want to go to the trainer, right? So Sonia is the guru, the master, and helping you not just only discover, but create the action steps and the accountability. The best investment you can make is in yourself. So that being said, Sonia, how can we get in touch with you?
Yeah. So the way that people can find me is either through my Facebook, which is Sonia Ovenden. I am on Instagram, which is Sonia J. Ovenden, at Sonia J. Ovenden. Just comment on any of my posts that you'll see at the moment, and I'll DM you, and then we can open up the communication that way. And then also my website, which is discoverthebeautyofyou.com.
Lovely. So to close up our episode, per tradition, I'm going to ask you 3 ending questions. Sonia, the first one, what is your favorite quote?
Don't count the days, make the days count by Muhammad Ali. And you'll see it on my website. So it's not just I've just pulled it out of the air. It is actually on my website. And it was my trigger to change my life because I was ticking off the days off my calendar. So yeah, that's been mine for many, many years. It just says it all.
Powerful. Oh my goodness. And second one, what's your favorite book?
That's not an easy question, is it? And there are
It's never easy
hundreds to say, but I mean, I do love working with the laws, which Raymond Hollywell, which is all about the laws of the universe. I also love Napoleon Hill's work, which was Think and Grow Rich. The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, because I again, if we stay in the now, things move forward a lot quicker. Lisa Nichols, No Matter What, I love the way she does it. She's just telling her story and then shares some action steps, because I'm all about action steps. If I'm just reading a book to hear somebody's story, it doesn't quite hit the mark for me. It has to have things that I can take away and do.
That's awesome. Wow. Thank you for that. And then the last question, you gave us so much good advice, but one more. What is the best advice you have to offer?
Get clear of what it is you really want. Get clear of what you would love in your life. Get clear of what that dream life looks like. Because without that clarity, the universe will give you whatever you ask for. And if you're not clear that's what you want, the universe will still give you whatever you think you want. So the key is really get clear of what you'd love more of in your life. Not what do you want, not what do you need. What would you love more of in your life?
Thank you so much, friends, for tuning in to this episode. I do hope that you enjoyed my conversation with Sonia Ovenden and that you are ready to step into your dreams and live the life that you've always wanted to. It's never too late, and remember, the power is in now. Also, friends, please remember to hit subscribe, rate, and tell your friends all about Heart to Talk, the podcast. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Otherwise, I'll be back in 2 weeks.